Sands of Time by Hennejoe, but before that, we have a message from a couple of our sponsors. Super Meat Boy Forever, a follow-up to the indie mega hit Super Meat Boy by Team Meat, is coming in 2018 for Steam, consoles, and mobile devices. If you want to check out updates for that, Super Meat Boy, I could not recommend it more. Follow them on Twitter at Super Meat Boy. And if you want to check out their website, it's www.supermeatboy.com. All right, we got a couple more donations while we're waiting here. Flibbit with $57.77 says, I bring games to the Mac for a living, so what better time to donate than during Marathon? I will donate $777 at the next GDQ with Marathon in it if the runner manages to do it on a PowerBook G3 or lower. That's asking a lot. Chair Bear with $100 says, Frog Blast the Vent Core, donating for a good cause and for old school Mac gaming love. I think the first games I ever played on a computer were on a Mac. All right, looks like we're ready for an interview. We've got Proto Magical Girl and Azorae.
What's up, Summer Games Done Quick 2017. I'm Proto Magical Girl. I'm here with Azorae, who later today will be running the Talos Principle, all sigils. So, Azorae, I was watching you practice this to get an idea of what I was coming into for this interview, and the first thing that stood out to me was the Tetris puzzles. Now, most of you who know me know I love Tetris, and I'll be playing Tetris later tonight. But what I want to know is what other kinds of puzzles are in this game, and for the speedrun, does it matter, or do we just skip all of them?
So the Tetris puzzles are actually pretty interesting because while they are kind of a core part of the gameplay, collecting all these Tetris blocks, the actual uses of them are fairly limited, especially in the speedrun. We're going to skip a bunch of the Tetris puzzles. But basically what we're doing is we're unlocking different things, either new levels or new unlocks, using these Tetris pieces. So the Tetris pieces themselves are behind the main meat of the game, these big kind of 3D environment puzzles, kind of similar to Portal, but instead of like the kind of sterile lab environment, you've got like kind of ruins or ancient Egypt or something familiar to like Serious Sam players. As far as what we're actually going to be doing, as far as solving those puzzles or skipping them, there are 129 sigils and stars together, which is the all sigils category. Out of those, depending on the route you do, between 4 and 7 are solved correctly. The rest are going to be skipped or broken in some way.
Okay, and what other kinds of puzzles can we look forward to during this run?
Okay, so like I said, it's kind of similar to Portal. You've got, you know, your simple connecting a laser to something to power something, or bringing down power using a jammer. But they all work in kind of this complex way to make a bigger picture. Like the sum is greater than its parts. So you have a bunch of simple mechanics coming together to make these bigger puzzles. But what I'm going to be doing is using these mechanics in a slightly different way than what they're intended, mostly to get on top of walls, do some platforming, and even launch myself into space.
Oh, nice. So you talk about platforming. What kind of, besides what you just mentioned, what kind of movement tech can we look forward to in this run?
Okay, well, the game is generally supposed to be played mostly on the ground. Jumping is not required for most things, and when it is, there's kind of a game assistant helper, little 2 pairs of footprints that'll jump automatically to where you are. I'm going to use those occasionally, but mostly I'm going to be doing some free platforming, running along walls, jumping over gaps, doing a lot of stuff that I'm not generally supposed to be able to do, kind of, just like any other speedrun.
And I know it's a PC game from an era where a lot of games like this were coming out, and this era had kind of a particular design to it that seems to lend itself today with speedruns to a lot of sequence breaking and glitches. So how much of that are we going to see during this run?
Oh yeah, there's going to be tons of sequence breaks and glitches. For people familiar with, like I said, Serious Sam games, Talos is on the Serious engine, which allows you to move very, very fast just on default settings, and that speed allows you to make some jumps and cross some gaps that you normally wouldn't be able to do in normal play. So there's speed settings. Obviously, I'm going to play on the fastest setting. I'm going to have a sprint enabled pretty much at all times. I'm going to be kind of zooming through levels, just like that.
Okay, cool. So I have just one last question. So
Cool.
I know Talos isn't the only game you run, and you seem to run a lot of these puzzle games. So what draws you to all of these games with this kind of similar core?
Well, it all kind of comes back down to Portal. I think Portal was the first puzzle game that I really sped run-did. People will debate the past tense over and over again. But I remember speedrunning Portal like before I actually streamed, just like using the stopwatch on my phone to time myself and getting just barely under 17 minutes. So, and what I especially love about speedrunning puzzle games is that a puzzle game generally has no replay value. You'll play it once, and then if you try to go through again, you've already solved all these puzzles, so you don't really have anything for it. So, what's one way to enjoy a game that you love again and again? Well, you can speedrun it, try to push your time down. So I've really always appreciated that about puzzle games in particular.
All right, very cool. Well, there you have it with Azorae. I'm Proto Magical Girl. Azorae will be on stream after Prince of Persia, I believe, playing the Talos Principle. Look forward to that. And now we're going to throw back to the front as we get ready for the Prince of Persia Sands of Time by Hennejoe.
All right, thank you very much. We're getting ready here for Prince of Persia Sands of Time with Hennejoe. And the buttery voice in my ear says it's time to go. So let's take it away. Sands of Time, Hennejoe, give it up.
Oh, baby. Whew. So, I guess time officially starts when you gain control of the character, which is like 9 seconds. We could have a 10-second countdown. So if we go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, Prince of Persia Sands of Time. Whew. So, if you happen to be watching SGDQ 2 years ago, and you see Sands of Time on the screen, you see an Englishman, and obviously you know the fact that it's SGDQ, you might start thinking, you might get a bit worried. You might be thinking, oh no, this looks like a mistake. And you might be right, to be fair. We don't know at the moment. But yeah, no, so for those of you that didn't watch, about 2 years ago I did a run of this game with, there's a type of glitch that we use, and it didn't go very well. I got 12 minutes into the game, and then the game crashed, and I lost 12 minutes, which wasn't nice. I'm not a big fan of losing 12 minutes right at the start. And then it got like 30 minutes in, and I also crashed. Again, not really what you want. But also, on my part, I was very silly, and I did not calibrate the controller correctly, which means the glitch that I was actually trying to do, it was very difficult, because it wasn't registering all my steps exactly as it should, or rather exactly how I was used to it at home. So it basically, I went 16 minutes over estimate. However, most people seem to be okay with it, I think. They're like, oh, it's the
This
cheat.
is also a different category where he's not going for the zips, so he doesn't have to like tap like 10 times in like very specific, in a very precise manner.
Yeah.
Okay, but don't worry, there's plenty of glitches in this run.
There is. In fact,
This is the probably the calmest moment in the run where you're really just mostly doing movement, because this is before you have the Dagger of Time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I think even so, there was, up until very recently, there was a guy that had the world record for both zipless, which is the one that I'm running now, and he also had any %, and he said pretty much unanimously zipless is the better category. There's a wider variety of glitches. The glitches that you do are actually cooler. It's not the same glitch again and again and again and again.
And you actually get to see some of the game's movement, which this game actually has a really nice movement system. There's rolls, there's wall running, so there's a lot of cool stuff you can do. Just as a general note for basic movement, if you're going downhill, then your best movement is just to run. If you're on neutral ground, then it's to wall run. And if you're going uphill, it is to roll. Rolling is also good when you're in like little shallow pools of water because you walk slower through those.
Yeah. So there was something that I was I don't know if I'd say proud of, but after the run, there was, I think it was either Kotaku or a Polygon article, and if you want a basic rundown of what happened, I think the title for their article was "The Prince of Persia speedrun, where everything went wrong." I think it's a pretty fair summary of what happened. Hopefully, this one is not like that. Hopefully, this one's really good. Although, I've just realized that I will need to go really quickly into the menu to change my camera settings, because at the moment they're inverted, which feels really bizarre. It's not like a huge problem, but, I mean, it's going to make me do that, which is bad. Right there.
The hourglass drew me. Fascinating.
Well, as an answer to that, we got an anonymous $100 donation that says, donating because Hennejoe is back. Hopefully this year is smoother than last time. Hashtag hugs for Hennejoe.
Oh no, Hennejoe? What's that about?
Don't dead name him.
So I changed my name. Maybe it was because of the it was because of the run. I'm trying to get away from it. It's not though. I just wanted to change name.
He's a grown man now.
I am.
Yeah, and that goes your doppelganger.
Yeah. There was just happened to be some guy 2 years ago who looks exactly like me, sounds exactly like me, running Prince of Persia. We're actually not even related.
Yeah, wasn't nearly as handsome.
Aw.
So this is the first big trick of the game, which is getting the Dagger of Time early, and
I didn't get it.
Yeah.
But
And it's a pretty precise wall climb. There's this really weird property when you climb walls in this game. You actually don't use it here, but if you do a vertical wall climb and you let go of the wall climb button, you'll actually go slightly higher than intended, which is used for a lot of shortcuts in this game. This is just a really annoying trick because it's just a very precise position and angle you need to be at to do this wall climb.
Don't usually have this many issues with it though. Oh, man.
There's a few different ways you can get it. Sometimes you get on the second jump here. Sometimes you jump back and forth an extra time.
Yeah.
Oh man. This is not a good start, is it?
You taught me this trick yesterday.
I did.
I did it on a laptop with a touchpad.
Yeah.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Oh, man, I don't know what's going on. Okay. Man.
It's still worth it.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
a
this
lot.
literally, it saves like a minute or two of platforming.
Yeah, it's about 2 minutes now that you don't even grab the dagger,
Yeah.
which we'll go over later.
Hey,
Hooray.
finally. It's really not that hard.
Get ready on time.
It's okay. It happened to me the last time I ran this game, and I had a good run, so that's a good omen, right?
Yeah.
So there's something really weird about the Dagger of Time. You don't actually have to collect it. If you just run up there, then you trigger the next scene, and you're good to go, and the game will just give you the dagger once you're done with this area, which is a little strange. So you don't have to see the cutscene where the prince is all like, ooh, it's shiny.
Yeah, it just flags that you have it.
Yeah.
What was actually quite cool is, I think it was shortly after the SGDQ run, there was a German speedrunner called Sphere, and he actually found that you could get the actual game files and put them in Blender, and because of that, we are able to know where like all the triggers are. That actual not getting the Dagger of Time was actually found not with that. That was by a Peruvian guy called Hennejoe. But obviously where it's not so helpful in this category, but when obviously any percent was getting more and more optimized. The fact that we could put the game's like maps into Blender and just see where all the triggers were is obviously really helpful, because this game doesn't actually have any loads. Or oh, it does. It has like 3, I think, but it's all done basically sequentially, so that when you hit certain points in the level, the next part of the level loads like sequentially. And the game really, really wants you to hit those lit triggers, because if you don't, then you just like can't continue. But this is the combat of the game. Get used to this. So I'm jumping over them.
It's either you do this, you do power slashes, which knock down immediately, or you torpedo.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the extent of the depth of combat in this game. That is the one unfortunate part about Zipless, is that you do have to still fight in a couple of situations, because normally in the Zips category you just would zip out of here.
So yeah, I mean, at this point during the 80% run, we are miles away. We've already zipped way off, because we don't have to fight any of those enemies. The Zipless category is going to be pretty much the intended gameplay. Up until, I would say, like 9 minutes-ish, or probably because I really messed up on Dagger. Maybe a little bit after that. But yeah, so there's basically, instead of zipping, there is a glitch which is quite broken. It's not as broken as zipping, and that's purely because when you're doing it, you can only do the glitch under certain conditions. Like there's only a couple things where it'll be useful. And one of them is when you're holding a box, and obviously there's not a box to hold in every room. Okay, I'm going to go for a strat here, which I probably won't get the first try. Okay, I might have got it. I think I'm kind of far away though.
Yeah. So generally when you're on little ledges like that, the game either drops you off like that or wants you to grab the ledge.
So I'm going to try this one instead, which worked.
Oh, nice.
Okay,
fair
enough.
Yeah, so that's a little bit inconsistent on the PC version. There's actually lots of really weird differences with the versions of this game. Like if you try that PS2 version, you'll just hit the pole and then basically break your legs and die.
Which is never nice.
Yeah. And then the GameCube version, you always catch it, and PC version, it just seems to be
I mean,
random.
What's interesting is what my hypothesis was, which has now been completely destroyed, was the fact that it used to always work on my laptop, but ever since I got my new PC, it didn't work. And so therefore my hypothesis was something to do with, the actual machine, like the power of the machine that you were running. But this is obviously quite a good PC, and I got it first try without bonking, so clearly that's not right. That might be a little. I was gonna say that little jump there. If you don't wall run just far enough, you will actually die from full damage. But if you hold it too long, you'll grab back onto the pole. And I thought for a second there that I was going to die to full damage, but I didn't. So that's okay. That's nice. I think that was the sort of the catchphrase of the run 2 years ago is, this is fine, or that's okay.
Yep.
But, okay, so this is still basically as intended, just doing it as fast as possible.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing lots of little shortcuts here and there, like doing a couple of wall bounces to get up quicker, or like a wall run or a jump to fall down faster, but nothing really crazy yet.
No, not quite. This is like a minute-long cutscene, if you want to read a donation-y do.
Oh, donation-y do? Is that what they call it?
That's what they call it in England, yeah. It's a donation-y do.
Donation-y do.
So weird.
Well, I have just the thing.
Awesome.
We got a donation-y do from Anonymous with $500.
Oh, wow.
And all it says is, have fun, Hennejoe.
Thank you very much. I am having fun. I am.
We have a $50 donation from Arctic X Wolf. Says, I remember the last Sands of Time run, so I'm hyped for this. Awesome show, and of course, kill the animals. P.S. Hugs for Hennejoe.
Of course, as always. Yeah. So obviously, because the last run didn't go all that swimmingly, some nice people started going on Twitter and doing the hashtag Hugs for Hennejoe to give me some support, which was nice. Honestly, it helped a hell of a lot. It's quite nerve-wracking to be in that position, obviously, where you're in front of a lot of people and you're... Oh, my sword was invisible. That was interesting. I thought I didn't draw it, but I did.
So he's doing a torpedo down here to catch a ledge, otherwise he'd die from fall damage. And that lets him skip a large portion of that area,
Yeah,
which is really
it's
nice.
like a really inconspicuous skip. It doesn't look like much, but that saves, again, probably about a minute to 2 minutes of
yeah,
stuff
that
where
sounds about right.
you'd have to go around, you have to watch a cutscene.
And he's actually doing that on purpose to actually trigger the next area, because if you don't hit specific triggers to go into the next area, there will just be a void there, and you'll game over.
Oh, didn't push that far enough. So what's it like, Mike, to finally see Sands of Time, like, you know, on the couch? What's it like? You're seeing all these tricks again for the first time.
It's nice. I mean, you know.
Oh, so here is where it starts to get a little bit funky.
Oh, I have a request. Can we raise the game audio here, just so we can hear the amazing voice acting that's about to happen?
Yeah. So probably if you blinked there, you might not have actually seen what happened. I teleported with a box, which is pretty cool. And we're going to use the box now.
Yeah.
There's a cutscene right where the box is. I'm going to stand on top of the box to skip the cutscene. And I'm going to position this fairly awesome. So, 1 minute I was somewhere, and the next minute I was the next. This is the voice actor, who I really wish I didn't know all the voice lines to, but I do. The man who's normally in charge of this Scott.
So is this
Never
an,
mind.
so this is an excellent English accent or a perfect English accent?
Oh, it's so bad. That's not what I sound like. The Prince, however, the Prince has a pretty good English accent.
Yeah.
I think anyway.
Full axles. You'll need to bring them up to the 1 by 1 until you've got all 4.
Then bring them up to the top together.
He's still going.
Yeah. So this puzzle.
Make sure you pick them up in the right order.
Okay, you can talk
Thanks,
now.
loud English guard.
Yeah.
That's it. One break.
So this puzzle is pretty awful because the movement is really slow, and it takes forever to do any moves. And if you screw up at all, then it costs a lot of time. But fortunately, Joe will be able to skip most of this puzzle using the never mind.
Interesting.
Using the first-person glitch, or hopefully he'll be able to skip it.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. There we go.
There we go.
And we're gonna go through the door as well. There we go. So you can actually do that in one zip, where you go through the door entirely.
Whoa, hey, this is zipless.
What?
You clip through the door. Got to get your.
Oh, did I say zip?
Yes, you did.
Oh, whoops. No,
The
just
forbidden
erase
word,
it. Yeah,
the Z
just
word.
pretend you didn't hear that.
I might have to ban you.
Oh no. I think we named it wrong, to be fair. I think the zip that we actually do is not really a zip in the, well, not in how you'd see it in most other games, I don't think.
So he's actually trying to get on a specific
Yeah.
portion of the ledge. He's trying to be half on, half off, so he can do this, because there's another application of the first-person glitch.
Yeah, so when you're on a ledge, if you're half on a ledge, oh, I did a wrong thing right there. I just need to make the camera go better again.
Yeah, so this game's
There we
camera is
go.
actually pretty cooperative until you start doing stuff like this.
Yeah. So this is quite precise. So what's quite handy about having a rewind is obviously if you do mess up, you can just go back a couple seconds. But yeah, so that's like a really big skip. Now, the way that they used to do that was, I'm sure Mike has very fond memories, very fond memories of the palm tree skip.
Yeah.
So much so that we affectionately call that skip the palm tree skip.
Exactly.
Because it was awful.
Yeah.
Because
palm trees are circular textures, and that means the angle is very precise that you have to hit in them, or else you'll just go off on some completely different angle that you didn't want to do the wall jump.
But if you wanted to save 30 seconds, that was the way to do it.
Yep.
But thankfully, that way is even faster than the palm tree skip. I could have jumped. I could have gone there, but I didn't.
It's all good.
I'm a scaredy cat. I'm probably going to miss because if you're really fast and you don't mess up there, you can do a cycle here where you go over the top of this saw blade, which is, again, saves like 2 seconds, but I messed up like the climb. But another application of the first-person glitch is the fact that where you do it backwards, if you're holding a box and you'll travel backwards, literally until you hit collision. If you do it with a lever, you activate the lever instantly, which is really nice because the lever pulling animation is really not that good. Takes quite a long time.
Yeah.
If you're a little bit faster there, you can do a nice little wall run, which saves like a second maybe. But we're about to face the dad. Now, I would actually say to take note during this cutscene, as the prince definitely does something that's not safe for work. If you take your sword out before you go in the cutscene. Here he goes. Oh dear. Oh dear. Goodbye. End of the game.
It ended there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. They didn't test that, I guess. This is just a long fight. I'm going to be doing a lot of combat, which, as we know, is not too exciting. So if you want to read some
There's
donation
only
dues.
one thing to note is that the game loves to do these slow motion during the combat, and he's not like changing the camera to make you motion sick. He's actually changing the camera because that cancels the slow motion sand pulling.
Yeah, I'll do most of the fight in landscape if I can. Sometimes, though, the game will try and take me out of landscape, which is not great. Now, Farah's actually dying, and I would like her to not do that, if that's okay, Farah. Okay, she downed that guy, which is nice.
Well, we got a few donations here for you.
Awesome.
From the Jumbo with $100 says the best run at SGDQ 2015 was definitely the Prince of Persia speedrun. Never seen a man fail so hard and still stay positive.
Thanks, man. That really helps.
Hashtag hype for Hennejoe.
Yeah, see, that's more like it.
Fingers to hand with $15 says 2 years ago, one man attempted to play a Prince of Persia game quick. It instead beat him. Tonight, that man returns, and this time, it's personal.
Heck yeah.
And he will kick that Prince of Persia game's butt so hard. Good luck, Joe.
Thank you very much, Fingers. He's actually a Prince of Persia runner. He runs the Forgotten Sands, which is like I think it came out in 2012.
Yeah, it's for the movie, I think.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Or it came out around the same time, roughly.
It's actually a pretty fun game.
I should have put my sword away there. I don't know why I didn't.
So what he's trying to do on the purple guys is because he can't just flip over them and pull sand. He's trying to do a power hit, which is double tap. And he did a little trick there where if you slow down the game, for some reason enemies don't block. So he can just instantly pull sand from your deceased dad instead of taking 9 hits.
Yeah. It actually saves like a lot of time, just that little tiny bit there.
Yeah, it does. That's like at least 10 seconds.
So even though we're on PC, and you don't usually have sort of save and quit on PC, I mean, technically this isn't a save and quit, this is a save and crash, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're going to take this sand cloud.
Yeah. But please save first.
Yes. So we saved, and now we're going to crash the game. So even though this is zipless, I have crashed. But this time it's on purpose, I promise. Because we take that sand cloud, essentially, what the game would have wanted you to do is watch a cutscene after it.
Yeah, it's about a minute and a half, so
yeah.
You still save a minute from doing all this.
It's a lot nicer. But what we actually did, so Sphere, the guy that did the little trick where you can put them into all the maps into Blender, he actually wrote a program for us, because everyone runs this on PC. And if you Alt-Tab out of the game, there are varying speeds at which it will Alt-Tab out, depending on how good your PC is, basically. So he wrote a little program so that you can run that program in the background, and you can press the numpad 5, and it crashes the game for you, which is nice, because it just makes it nice and consistent.
So he's actually doing a trick here, because normally you're supposed to fight all those enemies. If you're too far away from Farah, she'll either start getting hit and then die, or she will instantly die. But if you hit this trigger in time, you'll still game over, but after you game over, the game, because you hit this trigger, you'll be past the combat area, and
she's no
Farah
longer
will
dying.
be safe, yeah.
So I'm going to take this guy's sand. Now, this is actually slower, believe it or not. I know this is a speed run, so that's like heresy, but I'm actually going to take that to go slower, because I want to show you a really cool strat at the bottom of the next room, which you can only do if you have... So, I mean, I suppose I should talk about a little bit if you're unfamiliar with sort of the sands of... with the Prince of Persia games. Up in the top left-hand corner, you can see my rewinds. I have the big yellow circles are the rewinds, and then there's small, like, half moons shapes.
Yeah, those
next
are
to
for
them.
your other time powers.
Yeah.
And specifically right now, it's just slow.
Yeah, yeah, you can slow-mo and like freeze an enemy. If you like dagger them, then they will turn to, or time will slow down, not for you, but for that specific enemy. Also, when enemies are in that state, you can actually make them, you can insta-kill them, which is nice. But we don't really use it because we want to have as many sand retrieves as possible for a fight that comes like much later into the game. So you don't really want to kill people with the instant kill without taking their sand. So this room's pretty much done sort of as intended, up until like halfway through. And then it gets a bit funky. Like that. Is it DJ Casper? Do you do the cha-cha slide? Where he says, and this time, we're gonna get funky. No?
No, I'm so sorry.
You don't know
So
DJ
sorry.
Casper? It's like, to the left. Take it back now, yo.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know the Cuban Shuffle, dude.
The one?
The Cuban Shuffle?
I don't know that. What's that one?
I'm not going to embarrass myself and sing it like you did.
Oh, what? I thought, there was like a bond right there. I'd embarrass
wow.
myself. I thought you were about
He
to
gave
embarrass
you
yourself.
couch commentary privileges. and
I'm
that's
waiting
how
for
you-
my check.
That's another lever that we can activate instantly, which is nice. Also, I think, no. With some, no, it is correct. So if you activate a lever instantly like that, normally, when you activate that lever, the door itself is like on a timer to like close. But when you activate it via the first person glitch, it never returns to its original state, which means that the door never actually closes. Not that it's particularly hard to reach it in time anyway, but it's a nice little bonus, I suppose.
Just wanted to let you know that the chat loved that, by the way.
Oh, they did?
Oh,
Okay.
they went crazy for it.
That's right. At least someone.
Oh, you know I love you.
Of course, man. Of
Look at
course.
Hugs for Hennejoe is the new trending hashtag.
It should be right now. Make it like the most popular in Minnesota.
More popular, just specifically.
So it's all we ask.
Yeah. So I'm doing a jump here to skip some. If you walk over that section, the enemies at the bottom of the room spawn, and we do not want them to spawn.
Yeah.
That should
And he's
work.
doing a specific jump here so that he can get down here safely, no problems.
Yeah. 'cause
But now
normally-
he has to, yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, bye
Exactly.
Farah,
This
by
is
the
by
way.
Farah.
is she okay?
Don't worry, she'll spawn down here. It's all good.
Yeah. There she is. Hello. How could you do this to me? So this is the strat that I want to show you. I really hope I get this because it's super funny. It's too fast. Too fast. I'm going to try it one more time just because it is super cool. She was kind of slow on her, keep drawing her bow. So you hit her twice. 1, 2. Stand on the little black mark. Hit her again. Walk. Should be fine. Ah man. Okay, we're just gonna
too
go for the
bad.
we're just gonna go for the rewind. It's fine. That's a shame. You'll be seeing more of that strat specifically.
Yeah, so what rewind tricks do in this game, they can do one of two things. One is extend wall runs or jumps, which is what he's doing here, or they can create invisible ledges for you so you can walk in the air. Although that second purpose has mostly been replaced by the first person glitch.
Yeah, I don't think we use it to gain height at all anymore. There is something that we could potentially use it for, which is the fight that we do with Dad. You can actually theoretically skip it, but it's just not really RTA viable at the moment. There's too much that needs to go into it. But you can change your height of your wall run with that trick. You can also do it with Alt-Tab, but we've actually disallowed that because, again, it's varying results depending on the hardware, and just to sort of make it fair for everyone, we just say, no, don't do that. Because with Alt-Tab glitch, you can either create an invisible ledge above or create an invisible ledge below.
Because this is a good PC port.
Oh, yeah.
It's very
Ubisoft,
consistent.
known, world-renowned for their amazing PC ports.
So another thing about this game is speedrunning is that the community, I think they've capped it at 60 frames per second because the game does some really goofy things at high frame rates. Like you'll get like low gravity space jumps and rocket jumps and stuff like that, and it's just very strange.
He sort of pushed me there as I went to do my little bit. That should be fine. There we go. Should be high enough. Nope. One more try. I mean, to be fair, we'll just keep on trying this. So the reason why I kill all those enemies is because if I don't Farah dies to them, and that's obviously not what we want, but we're going to be doing a specific strat here. There we go, that should be fine. There we go. So when there's one enemy, she pretty much won't die. I guess technically she could if the guy, like the hammer guy, was to like combo her and just keep on comboing her. But for the most part, she's fine. Like she got hit once, but she shouldn't really get hit again. And she's probably going to prove me wrong. But so I'm doing some specific setup here. This is a different type of first-person glitch that I'm about to do. This is a rewinded first-person glitch. Now what that should do, it keeps us in position after we've moved the box. And what that means is we don't walk into the cutscene when we clip through there. And also, if you do that first-person glitch without doing the rewind, you don't actually go through the door because you're not in the correct position to. But when you do it with a rewinded one, so that's you hold the box, you let go of the box, you rewind back to when you were holding the box, and that's the way, I like it. Sorry, that's the way to clip through that bit. We use that again in a couple seconds. Farah, stop getting hit.
You should be okay, because as long as you hit this trigger, then you're good.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, she would have to get hit a lot. She can take like 4 more hits, so... I mean, she might. Who knows? It is Farah.
It is.
Oh, Farah, come on.
Is she okay?
Yeah, I don't know. She's doing something. But yeah, so now when we go past this bit here, the enemies that are actually attacking her, or the enemy that was attacking her, actually despawns. So we don't need to worry about her anymore. Yeah. Bye, Farah. We've got to kill these scarabs.
They normally take 3 hits, but a torpedo will kill them 1 hit, and a power hit counts as 2 hit. And the torpedo loves doing that for whatever reason.
Come on.
And does anyone know why?
It's just bad. It's
Fair
just
enough.
bad. Yeah, so the game, you don't really have a lot of choice in how you aim your torpedoes. There's some like things that you can do to make it a little bit better.
It generally just aims towards the closest enemy.
Yeah. So we're going to do that trick again. So I'm holding the box. I'm going to let go of the box. Rewind to when I was holding the box. There we go. And first-person glitch backwards. Now, I am still holding the box. As you can see, I'm moving the box. Now, this looks really strange. And I do apologize, because if you want an explanation as to... I need this to be a little bit close to the wall. Come on, man. You can do it. There you go. So if you want an explanation as to why this works, I really apologize. I have no idea whatsoever. But now the box is there. I don't know why that works. It just does. Shout out to a Dutch runner called Epic Dude Guy, Robbie, who found that. I don't know how he found that. The dude is a genius, basically. That's my...
And that saves a lot of time, because normally you'd have to wait for Farah to go through a crack in the wall.
Yeah.
And then you have to wait for her to hit a switch on the other side. Instead, you just clip through.
And not only that, I mean, technically we have to do that even if it didn't save time for that section, because of the strat that we did before, where when we jumped over that fence, we didn't actually take Farah with us. We're meant to take Farah with us, but when we take Farah with us, the birds that are in the area say, oh, look, there's 2 people to attack. But when there's only 1 person to attack, the birds just don't seem to care. So that bit saves time there, which then means we're at that section, but we're without Farah, who is normally the only way to continue past that bit. But where we're, when we did the previous bit without her, that's literally the only way to get past that section anymore. Without a zip, of course, but there's a zipless, so. Do some sort of fast movement here. Now this bird is really finicky. Sometimes he'll hit you, sometimes he won't. Is he going to hit me? Nah, he's not. He doesn't care today. Sometimes he cares, sometimes he doesn't. He's a pretty finicky bird.
We have a donation from Dan's Queen. Ooh. Says, 2 years ago at SGDQ 2015, I saw a run of this game by a runner then called Hennejoe, now Hennejoe. In joining his community, I got to meet the most amazing people. Shoutouts to you, Bark Bevastation, George, Clowns, Jonas, Will, Vespi, yes, even you, Andy, Owen, Zit, don't think I forgot about you. And lastly, thanks to Joe for being a great person and extremely entertaining runner to watch. Joe, you're hecking awesome. Heart emoji, donation to your choice.
Oh, thank you so much, Dan's. Dan's is awesome. And also, yeah, again, shout outs to all those people. They are great.
What is your choice?
My choice is, it's a file name for Earthbound. It's Jasper, I think it says. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to have to check my health. Okay, my health is good, and I have 2 slow-mo tanks.
That's good.
That is good, because it means that if I do fail this once, or if the enemies give me a particularly unfavorable pattern, I get to try it again, which is always nice. We do need to wait for Farah here. Sometimes those scarabs will really... There she is. Hello.
Oh, that was really fast.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Well done,
real
Farah.
fast.
It's very rare that Farah does cooperate in a speedrun sense. She kind of makes this game a little bit unenjoyable sometimes. But, you know, I guess you have to take the good with the bad, so... Okay, I can... Oh, yeah, I did it. So there's like a certain point there where you can wall run over, and it saves a little bit of time. Otherwise, you have like a climb animation. Okie dokie, so let's get this guy out of the way. Excuse me. I'm trying to get through. Okay.
You're so polite.
Oh, hello. Don't know what happened there. I got caught on the geometry.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I've already slowed down time. That's a big mistake. I should have waited for someone to attack me first. Come on, please do it in the last section here. Come on. No, they're not going to do it. That's fine. That's not too bad. I just have to reposition and hope that they do it this time. There we go. Oh, there we go.
You got it.
That was really sketchy, but it worked. So, you know, I'm happy about that.
I think you mean perfect execution.
Yes.
Frame
yes,
perfect.
No, of course.
Pixel perfect.
Sometimes you go way higher than that, right?
You don't have to be so
Yeah.
modest and British here. You are in America.
So I'm going to wait here for Farah. I've just realized that I'm gone into speedrun mode, so I'm actually doing sort of an unsafe strat here. The game might game over. It should be fine even if it does, because we can still continue. But I was meant to let her in the crack because that's not really, it's not really marathon safe. It's fine. We should be able to continue just fine. Oh, why would you do this to me, game? Why would you do this to me? Why would you do this to me? Never mind. Okie dokie, let's load back up the Sands of Time.
Yeah,
When was the last time you saved?
I'm going to have to use a backup save because there's like no save for like 20 minutes, and I'm sorry, but I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
That's completely my bad, though. I just went into speedrun mode. There is a marathon safe. I've called it Please No Crash as well. That's just great. Okay, let's just quickly go to... yeah, that's where we were. So this is the section, like, literally where I crashed. There we go. But yeah, so unfortunately, that is bad. That's really bad of me. I do apologize. Just sort of went into speedrun mode. That was a bit weird.
Got a bunch of slow-mos now.
Does it usually crash there? Or?
It really shouldn't. Normally it should game over. That's really unfortunate. I even did wait for Farah, which normally prevents it, which is really upsetting. Oh well, it's not the end of the world.
It won't happen again.
No.
He promises that it will never happen.
Yeah.
So this is the second sword, and its primary purpose is to break down walls.
Yeah, that's the only reason we need to take it, because I think theoretically we could skip it if we wanted to, but this sword's magical, I guess. Doesn't really explain it.
Yeah, it's just kind of there.
Yeah. It's a nice little fast way to get down here.
Yeah.
There should normally be enemies during this section, but because it's a practice save, they're not there. But from here on out, it will be as normal, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so annoying. I can't believe it. I genuinely can't believe it. What are the chances? That's not happened to me.
Your consistency in these marathon runs is pretty impressive.
I mean, yeah, I'm consistently awful. Oh.
We've got a $100 donation from OTDQ. It says, word up, Hennejoe.
Yo.
Kevin here in the tech area. Hashtag hugs for Hennejoe remains one of my favorite memories from our first year helping out at SGDQ. Pumped to see you back for another go. Donation goes to Runner's Choice.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Kevin's right over there. Hey,
Yeah.
Kevin.
Exactly. He's
Hey,
a great
Kev.
guy.
What a man. Okay, so this next section's, I think it's all fairly as usual, as standard. I don't think there's anything particularly interesting.
It's not until the mess hall that it really gets.
Yeah. However, there is a neat little factoid about this section. So the glitch that we are doing, the first-person glitch, that is Wow, two double kills.
Yeah.
Nice.
The double.
Yeah.
Two quick ones.
Two quick ones. I'm already getting there on the perfect line. But yeah, the this little box, we have to wait for Farah to get in there, and she appears over there. So one day I was really bored, and I was just doing this. Now, at the time, I had my first-person camera, which is this button, which is now my left bumper, because it's easier. I had that bound to clicking my left thumbstick, and unknowingly, I actually performed a first-person glitch, and I was like, whoa, that's really weird. It changed the direction of the box. That definitely shouldn't happen. And I left it at that. I was just like, okay, this game's crazy, whatever. But there was a guy called, again, actually, it was Epic Dude guy, Robbie, who actually I guess, realized its potential. And then obviously found out that this can be utilized in a myriad of different ways, which is obviously really nice. I just realized that I took the bad practice save as well, so I've actually got way more sands than I should have. That's, again, damn, I'm just the worst. I'm sorry, everybody.
Validated.
Yeah.
We already said the word zip, so it's all okay.
Yeah, I guess.
Just rewind before the crash happened.
I wish you could. Oh, man.
Real life rewind.
It'd be a hell of a lot nicer. But yeah, so this bit, we want Farah to follow us. Farah? There she is. Sometimes, because the old strat...
You actually didn't want her to follow you. You wanted the door to close on her.
But now we want her here. So also I'm going to go into this cutscene, and it should go a bit crazy. This looks normal, though.
Yeah, this looks pretty normal.
Oh. Maybe I didn't do it in time. Oh, well. You can make this camera go a little bit crazy. There we go.
There we
so yeah, that shouldn't happen.
Look at that chair.
Yeah.
Oh, God. They're everywhere.
Get out of my way. Thank you. Wow, Farah actually
did something helpful.
Wow. It, never happens. Although, to be fair, I mean, she did also follow us in the corridor, but she did also technically crash the game. Because the reason why it crashes is because it looks for Farah, it can't find her. Now, normally, under normal circumstances, it game overs. But there are a couple instances where the game says, I don't know where Farah is, and it just doesn't know what to do, and it crashes. Which is sad times for all involved. But we're going to let the door close on us. I didn't go forward far enough. And what that actually does... No, that's not going to work. It needs to, actually close on me. Should be fine. Yeah. So you saw her health bar disappear. She's now no longer being attacked. Doing that, I guess the game the game sees that you're outside the room. But it doesn't normally if you go outside the room too fast, it game overs. Or Farah can still get attacked, basically. Also, this is kind of interesting. This is something that I found.
Yeah, so there's a bridge there still.
Yeah.
You can still grab the side of the bridge even though it hasn't been pulled down with the switch. Oh, and he's doing this on purpose to do a rewind trick to actually extend the jump.
Looks interesting. We'll see. Easy every time. I've never failed that in my life. The reason why we do it that way, maybe thinking, well, you're on the invisible ledge, why not just walk straight forward? But you actually can't. Curiously, it must be something to do with the drawbridge's hitbox, but the bit right at the end is just a huge invisible wall. You can't get past it unless you do that rewind trick there, which is why we do it. But now we're quite far away from Farah. However, she's not in a state where she's getting attacked, so we're fine for the moment, but we do need her. You don't want to do that. That's wrong. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to get up here, which when you land here, you get a checkpoint. So now we're going to go see her. Because we need her, basically. However, once we have her again, we will have to say goodbye. So now she's loaded in the room with us. Now, I should be wearing my glasses. I even brought my glasses. I'm not wearing them.
There.
I know, but it was too late. So I'm going to do slow-mo because it gives me a little bit more time to do this. And we're just going to sort of, see you later, everybody. What I actually really like about this is Farah. You can just see her down there. She must be going what is going on?
I love his jazz hands.
Yeah.
So ready.
Showing off.
But yeah, so we're just going to sort of stroll on out here. Which, I mean, you have to admit, this is so conveniently placed. It's ridiculous. Just keep on going. And going. And going. And we get to here and we stop. And we turn around. Sorry, did that scare you, Sam?
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Woke me up.
Okay, so now we're doing that. Now we need to be careful here because you can wall run into the spikes. We didn't. So this is a section that you're meant to be on later. but we're on it now. I'm going to get to the top of here.
Yeah,
now,
there's normally a very convoluted puzzle of turning bridges around so Farah can access the top.
Yeah. But again, we're really far away from Farah, so the game's like, oh no. Thank you.
Oh man. What I totally not random at all. It's a suspenseful bridge collapse.
Yeah, so normally that bridge collapses after you've traveled across it, but just sort of breaks down for no apparent reason this time. But again, so like I said, we're really far away from Farah again, so we do need her. Taking the save doesn't get her back, but because we've taken the save, that gives us a checkpoint, something that we can, when we die, we can go back to. Like so. And then she's like, hello. There she is. So I'm not actually going to do, there is a faster strat, but because of the way that this run's going so far, I'm not going to do the faster strat. And plus it only saves like, I think 8 seconds, so it's not like the end of the world. Wait, I did jump off the edge, yeah? My memory's
yes,
awful. Okay, I was just making sure. Yeah.
It was a very long time ago, to be fair.
Yeah, it's like a good 10 seconds. Wait, who are you guys? I don't know how I got here. Okay, so we're gonna, I think I could have let go there, yeah. So the reason why I asked is because if you haven't jumped off the area, if you haven't jumped off the ledge, this area hasn't loaded and that cutscene hasn't loaded, which means that you get a little bit further, but then you can't continue anymore. I'm going to take this here. Very dramatic.
Yeah.
And do that jump. That should work.
It's a minor shortcut right there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of those in this game, actually.
Yeah. What's quite, I guess it's because of the way that the movement's designed, but it looks intended in a way. Like it doesn't look like you're doing a skip. Yeah. It just looks like that's what you should do.
Oh, and he's going to do something kind of funny looking here because it's to skip one of those cutscenes where it's like, hey, look at this area.
Like that.
Oh, no.
So at least you get to see the area.
Yeah, exactly.
I walked back into it. That's interesting. Very clever.
It's not very long, though.
No, it's not. It's not a huge one.
All right, so he's actually going to run off here because this game is really weird about its triggers. And if you don't go up to there, then the next area won't load. And you'd probably be thinking, wouldn't it be just closer to the next area? But no, it's just there for whatever reason.
Yeah, so there used to be, in my opinion, a cooler strat where you used to be able to like walk along the wall here.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I used to like it, but this unfortunately is quite a bit faster because it's a lot easier as well. Even though I failed it the first time, it's still probably saved time. Oh, I should say, by the way, in regards to actually doing the glitch, the first-person glitch, how to do it is you have to sort of tilt back on the left thumbstick. When you're in first person, you need to tilt back on the left thumbstick really, really gently. It takes quite a while to get used to just how gentle it actually is. I like to think that I can do it fairly fast now, although there are people better at it than me. But it's sort of once you get used to it, you can do it pretty fast, even though it's pretty gentle. And I'm actually trying to skip a cutscene here, which when I was doing it in practice the other day, I didn't get. There you go. I did it this time. Again,
that actually skips 20 seconds because it's quite a long cutscene showing the entire waterfall.
Again, the game really loves to do that.
Yeah.
Which I guess casually is quite nice.
Yeah,
It's,
exactly.
it sets the scene. But yeah, this bit's fairly this cave section is like fairly intended up until like halfway through. And I'm quite thankful, and I'm sure Mike, if he was still running the game, would be quite thankful. Because it skips a section
skip the stalactites, which are terrible.
Awful, awful things. I'm so glad that I've not had to use those stalactites now in like, I don't know, probably about 1.5 years. Because that used to be, it used to be the way to go. The reason why they're so funky is because the way that the camera is good mostly for this game. But it does like to force a lot of camera angles on you, and when it does that, it sort of disorientates the player, or at least it disorientates me. I can't speak for everyone, but it disorientates me, and the direction that you have to face or like go to is sometimes a little bit weird. I don't like this one pot
they sometimes don't make sense.
I always break that pot. I always feel like if I don't break that pot, then it's not a true speedrun. It's just right in the way, and you just have to roll through it. It's probably slower, to be fair.
Well, now you have a legitimate speedrun again.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, exactly.
So you can, once something's been invalidated, it can actually be revalidated. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I mean, that's how the Dagger of Time works, right? You just rewind it. And
Okay, so this is kind of precise. You can do 3 little half climbs and then half of a little climb. That should be fine. And we're off again. We're off. We're gone. But yeah, so you can see all these little stalactites. These are the things that we had to climb on before. And like I said, it's just not nice. Then it's not like the hardest thing in the world. It's just really annoying. So if you can skip as many little really annoying things as you can, it's all for the best. And also doing this isn't probably that much faster than doing the stalactites, but what it does do is there's a cutscene on that bridge. I don't know why I'm pointing. You can't see what I'm pointing at. But there's right that bridge below me. There's a cutscene on it, and it skips that. We don't have to watch that cutscene, and that's primarily why that method is actually faster, rather than it probably still is a little bit faster than going on the stalactites, but yeah, it's the cutscene that's like the big one. I'm just going to take this last bit normally because I'm not very good at this bit. You can like do a little jump there, but it saves like a minimal amount of time. Yeah,
amount of time.
And I don't know why. I'm just not very good at it. Okay, so that's the cave section done and dusted. We are now on to well or reservoir or sewers. Depends really. It's got loads of different names. And this is where we'll be doing a glitch which was found by the great Uyama himself, which
yeah.
I'm sure he would like to explain.
Yeah, and please save here.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
All right, so the glitch that he's going to do a first-person glitch to just skip most of this area, first of all, or else the sewers would take like at least 2 extra minutes. But there's this really weird thing in the game where when you exit the sewers, it fades out, and it's the only area in the game that fades out. And during this fade out, you actually have control over your character. And if you kill the prince during this fade out, you'll still trigger the next area, but you'll have 0 health, and the game considers you dead. And that's why it's called the zombie glitch, because you basically don't exist in the game. If you trigger anything, like if a trap hits you, or if you fall into a pit, you will get a game over, and you'll go all the way back to the sewers because you're considered dead and you haven't triggered anything extra. And the way he's going to trigger this is by actually doing a jump here, so that, yep.
Yeah, good. Got it. So it's six climbs upwards, which is why I looked like I was counting, because I was. I need to count that out loud. I mean, I didn't do it out loud, but I was like mouthing it because, I don't know, if I do it in my head, I always am really scared that I'm going to like miscount or miss time.
Yeah. So he has to be fairly careful here, because if he dies, he goes back to the sewer, because that was the place where he last checkpointed before he died, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because...
And when I first found this glitch, I thought it was completely useless. I thought there was no use to it, but it turns out there's actually a great use for it. But the problem is also makes the run a lot riskier.
Yeah. Don't know what happened there. Like, on my swing, like, got eaten. Don't know what happened, but I have to redo that.
We believe in you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing the wrong one. That's why I was like, I jumped on that section. There we go. There we go. So I guess I didn't press A fully down before.
So because you're dead, enemies don't attack you and they don't try to find you, and spike traps won't trigger.
But those big blade things will,
yes.
If they hit me, I will be gone.
And the thing is, once you drink water to replenish your health, you will be considered alive again.
Yeah, and we do utilize that. It's really important that we do later on. It's probably like a minute or 2 away. Okay, I was a little bit worried there. I didn't know if I jumped far enough. It always looks a little bit sketchy, but...
Yeah. And so what's convenient about being a zombie here is that none of the enemies are chasing you, and this allows you to push a statue and set up I think it's a first-person glitch to get out of here, which saves a lot of time, because normally this is one of the longer fights in the game.
Yeah, no, it's... I would say it's probably on par with that. Maybe not. I don't know. It's like 2 minutes. It's a good chunk of time that it does save.
Probably aside from the elevator, it's the longest fight.
Yeah. We just need to get there first. But I mean, I don't. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, I guess, at the moment. But it'll be really obvious once we're in this room that the enemies just don't care at all. They're just like, yo, oh, it's the prince. See you later, guys. So I'm gonna. Oh no, you know what I should have done? During a cutscene or something, I should have put on my glasses.
You know they're right there.
I know, but I mean,
They're
I can't
right
stop.
below the monitor.
I can't stop now. Okay, now I need to actually do this bit fairly quickly because Farah can die, and we don't want her to die. But yeah, so that's that first-person glitch we did with that statue. Obviously, if the enemies were always trying to attack us, that would be really hard to do, which is why we do the zombie glitch. It saves a lot of time, and it's really useful. But I don't. Yeah, so when you found that, you didn't think it was useful at all, right?
Yeah, like I didn't think there was much application for it just because of the ways because it would always boot you back to the sewers if you died.
I'm doing it.
Oh,
yeah.
Serious
Give a hand
mode.
for those glasses.
It looks like a whole new game.
And if we have a second, we got a big donation of $500. And that is from, I want to say Dan S. Gaming. He's donating for Hennejoe's soothing voice. Really enjoying this run.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So this is the scary part when it comes to the zombie glitch, because he has to get this in a very precise spot, because one of the things that can trigger Farah dying because you're so far away from her, and if is a cutscene.
No. Okay, it's fine. If you get knocked... Oh, I shouldn't have taken his sand. It's not a problem. Like, one more will spawn. I'll just have to take his sand as well. But yeah, so I just need to, like... torpedo off one of these, but it's not been very helpful.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that on one. We're good. We're good.
All right.
Nice.
Oh, man. That is such... Because that's like... Well, I mean, it's not technically over.
Yeah. There's still this fight.
Yeah.
Which he's going to play pretty safe by just hanging around the archway. Because if he dies here, he still gets... I think you still get booted back to the sewers, even though you're alive.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, because he still has to trigger a checkpoint, even though he's alive. And the checkpoint won't happen until he gets the save. And to get the save, you have to complete this fight.
Yeah. And you may be thinking, well, why don't you just keep the zombie glitch? You know, then the enemies won't try and attack you. But if you try and do this fight with the zombie glitch, the enemies spawn all around the room. Like, you can see like how big this room is, and they just spawn all around it because they don't know where to go. They don't know where you are, and they're like, I guess, programmed to always look for you. So when you don't, there we go. When you have the zombie glitch on, they don't spawn next to you, and it makes this fight like 5 minutes long or something crazy because you have to like travel all around the room. So even though like I'm playing really scared here, but oh, a nice double, nice double kill. Yeah, so I'm trying to think. I also cannot rewind whatsoever, because if I do, when you rewind and you're far away from Farah, the game checks for Farah on a rewind. See, that should have been a double kill. That should have so been a double kill, but it wasn't. The game loves to do that, where you think it's going to get something and then it never does. Oh, and that's just a torpedo that doesn't work. You know,
I think
apparently.
I think they're actually a little invincible when they spawn in like that.
There we go. I think this is the last dude. Could be wrong. See you later. Okay. So now we're all good, unless for whatever reason I jump off the edge, which I have I have no intention of doing. Don't worry. There we go. So now we have a save point.
Yeah. So now he's good.
Yeah. Now I'm officially good. It was up until that moment I was bad. Right now I'm good.
It was the glasses.
Yeah. It is the glasses, maybe. Yeah. So we take that save point because, sort of similar to before, the save point gives us a checkpoint. Yeah. But we do still need Farah to be with us. So again, we're just going to jump off the edge, and where we've got the checkpoint, Farah will be like, yo, hello.
You're like reverse Superman. You're better with the glasses.
Oh, yeah. I can't fly, though. Although I can walk on air, which is like almost as good. It's like just a really bad Superman.
Discount Superman.
Yeah, discount Superman. I'm happy with that, to be fair.
It's okay, man.
All right, I hate to break in, but I have a very special donation.
Okay.
And it's from Colleen.
Okay.
$100 says, for your one and only crash, Love, Mum.
Oh, thank you, Mum.
P.S. How difficult is this site for an old person to use? Let's give it up for
Big
moms,
clap for my mum.
everybody.
Come on. Thank you so much. I love you, Mum. You're the best. Yeah, no, she's great. She's currently in Spain, I think. Lucky.
All over the place.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, she lives in China, but she's like come back for holidays. But before she's coming back to England, she thought rather than coming back to rain, she thought she would, go somewhere that's actually like a holiday vacation. But no, thank you, Mum.
Just come to good old Minneapolis.
Yeah. Actually, it is really hot. Like, I mean, for me anyway, I am definitely not built to be dealing with the heat. I like the rain and the cold and the grey. That's just part of being English, I think. Okay, so this section's pretty much all again. I'll be using a first-person glitch to do a lever, but this next section's really fun if you can do it correctly. But it's like all platforming.
Yeah. And it's a lot more fun than it used to be because there's no palm tree.
Yes. I mean, technically, the guy who's got world record, he does still go for palm tree, but I don't because I'm again a scaredy cat.
You be careful.
Meow. Okay. These little, they're really easy to dodge, but if you're not paying attention and they hit you,
They do a lot of damage.
They do a lot of damage. I would want to say maybe the most damage that anything does in the game, apart from permadeath. I think that's not a fact. Don't quote me on that, please. Oh, that's interesting. So this is a bit weird because we know that there are version differences where this doesn't work. It should be fine though. If not, I'm going to try it one more time. If it doesn't work, I'll go for the old slower method. There we go. I have to go for the slower method. It's fine. Which is here, I believe. It's been a long time since I've done it. There we go. Wow, shout-outs to the old method. That's been a very long time since I've done that. Because on my PC, that works every time. It didn't used to work on my laptop, and apparently it's not working here. I promise you, I am doing literally exactly the same as what I would do at home. Oh, that was nice and fast.
Yeah, this game is really not consistent at times.
No. There we go. It's nice to get that nice and quick, because that's usually the part where I have the most. That's interesting to be on this side. It's not impossible because we can first-person glitch.
Yeah. That's such a convenient glitch.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually, yeah, that would have been sort of GG. Well, you'd have to have rewound.
Yeah.
Before, because if you land, you're not meant to land on that side of the.
Yeah, and then what the game does if you climb up on ledges like that is that it just catapults you to the other side, which is just
not good.
A ledge.
Yeah.
And you fall and you die.
Okay, so I'm gonna go for the hard way down. I might go for it twice. I don't know. See how I feel. Okay. Oh, I don't think that's right. No. Just a little bit further. Just a little tiny bit. That's too high up. Yeah. One more try. One more try. Just one. Just one more. One more, I promise. There we go. That should be fine. There we go. Yeah. That's actually, it's not hard, but it just sometimes, you need to get the feel for it, if that makes sense. But, I mean, doing it that way, when you fail twice, does not save time, I'm afraid to say. Normally, the usual way down is you just go back the way you came. But that is a little bit faster if you can get it first try. So I need to make sure that Farah's follow me here, because if she doesn't, she sort of deloads halfway through, and just falls into the abyss. In fact, she does loads of crazy things on this bridge. There has been once where I was just, climbing along as normal. I turned back and I realized that she quite willingly just jumped off the edge. There's a clip of it if you want to go see it. It's literally, she just decides hello, I'm going to jump off the edge here now. But I mean, to make sure she goes in the crack, which she is, because sometimes she can get a little bit stuck fighting those enemies as well. And now we have a cutscene. It's quite a long cutscene as well. We're going to the prison. And as all good superheroes, or not superheroes, but as all good, action movie stars do, to prove he's a man, he just gets progressively less and less dressed. Just likes to take off all his clothes.
Well, if we got time for a couple of donations, we got Pi with $50 says, "Hey Hennejoe, I was vaguely interested in speedruns before, but your run in 2015 was so entertaining that I haven't missed a GDQ since. Good luck on the run. Hashtag hugs for Hennejoe."
Thank you so much.
We also have one for Stella Knott with 15 from Stella Knott with $15 saying, "Donated for unexpected crashes. Always the best part of GDQ."
I disagree.
I'm sure you would.
Wholeheartedly.
Kona Rican says, $25. "I remember the last run, hashtag hugs for Hennejoe, and I thought it was one of the best runs of the marathon. I'm curious if there's a 100% route that's been planned or is being routed. Donation to Runner's Choice."
So there sort of is. We don't actually call it 100%. It's called all collectibles. The reason being, the way that we define that is in you get all the sand clouds, you get all the life upgrades, and you get all the swords. But technically, we don't kill all the enemies, and killing the enemies does actually give you something. It gives you those like half moons that you can see next to my rewind timer. And we don't do that in 100% because the combat's not the fun part of this game, and that just would make the run longer. It wouldn't make it more interesting. So we call it all collectibles, and it has been, done. Need to pay attention here, actually. This bit's really butt clenchy. If you could all clench at home, it would help me out. There we go.
Clenching right now.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay, that's really, really good. Man, that's the one thing that I was like really nervous about because you lose like probably 40 seconds to a minute every time you fail it, which obviously you don't want to do. Also,
I just want you to get this next trick.
Yeah, me too. This is such a cool trick. I should get it. It's got like a fairly solid setup. Okay, let's give this a try. So you're going to do a half step here. That should be good. Nice. Awesome. Nice damage boost. The reason why I like that damage boost so much is because you get such a clear idea of what's actually like happening when you get like a damage boost. Because the two other places, I mean, I know I failed it at Warehouse, and I did it once in the bath, but both of those times you can't really see what's happening because I'm manipulating the camera to make the trick easier for me. But during that section, the camera's always fixed, and you get to see just how high you go. That was actually because that was like probably one of the last frames that I could have jumped on. If you do it earlier, you go higher. I don't really know why it works like that, but it does. Now we have a rewind trick. This part is unchanged
from
a very long time. Yeah.
Because this switch is just barely out of reach.
Oh, that's a bit rude. He tried to attack me. That should be fine though. That's a really good position. There we go.
Nice.
Easy.
Yep.
Whew. I mean, don't clap yet.
Yeah, don't clap yet. He actually has to get past here.
This might be
really
rough.
Bad.
Might be rough. Okay, it's fine. The other hammer guy decided to yawn. I don't know why.
Yeah.
He was clearly quite tired.
Once he gets out of here, he's safe because there's a fountain at the elevator.
Yeah. But it is quite common after you've done that rewind trick for those two hammer guys to just combo you and combo you and combo you.
And he's going to collect the sand here?
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
That's a good That's a good point.
Because he doesn't want to soft block the game?
That's true. I don't.
I have a use.
No, thank you so much. Yeah, I actually forgot about that. Because it's killed 2 runs recently that were like going to be PB. If you go too fast during this section and Farah isn't like right behind you, this cutscene plays, but Farah never walks into the elevator. And you can't really get her in there without, loading a previous save, which there is not a close one of. So I'm going to activate the elevator first to make sure, there's a certain, a timer that runs until the enemies spawn. Now, because I loaded a practice save, technically this fight's going to be a lot easier.
Yeah, so what normally happens is that because you skip that fight back in the baths or baths 2 or whatever, you wouldn't have the 4 half moons, which is what you need to activate the mega slowdown, which lets you defeat everything here really fast like this. This is a mega slowdown. And he's using the landscape mode just so he has an easier time seeing everything.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, this is like an auto scroller into a cutscene, into another cutscene, into a minute walk. So if you like stored up a bunch of donations, now is a great time to start reading.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, actually, if you could I request someone's phone with Wi-Fi, just really quickly, just because we got 2 minutes, we might as well do something. Oh, Farah's really close to dying. Farah, please stop. No.
Oh, that's not good.
Come on now. This is scary as heck. Okay, that's not good. I'm going to rewind in time a lot. I'm going to see how far back I can go and see if I can get her another bit of health, because that was a lot of health that she lost in a short space of time. Normally, you're okay to like just rewind once, but she lost like 3 bits of health within, I think the rewind time is like 12 seconds or something, I can't remember. So within that time frame, she lost all that health. But these are the last like 4 enemies, I think. I don't know if I've been counting correctly. Could be wrong. I'm willing to be wrong. Okay, yeah, it was not the last 4.
One of the problems with this fight is that if Farah's getting hit, you have to get closer to get enemies off of her, but because the enemies spawn towards you, they'll also start spawning really close to Farah too.
Which is scary, because she's not the best at combat. I would go so far as to say she's probably the worst. That's it. Okay, so that's elevator done. It's all good.
Well, we have another very special donation from Dad.
Hey, Dad.
And it's a $20 donation, and it just says, Daddy loves you.
Aww.
Smiley face.
That's my dad.
Maybe it is.
yeah, who knows?
Well, I think the last name matches the one I've been given, so.
Okay.
It's Hennejoe.
Henna Henna Mum. Or Mom, I guess, seeing as I'm in America. Has to be said with an O.
Mom.
So sometimes, it didn't happen that time, but sometimes on the PC version, that wall run up to that, like wall run and jump up to that lever just doesn't work. I'm not entirely sure why. It just literally just sometimes it just refuses straight out to work.
I can feel it. I can't explain it.
But yeah, I was thinking, you know, what's the one thing if I'm trying to like bring something new to GDQ, what's the one thing I could do? And there's not a lot of chat interaction. So I was hoping maybe if you ever had a question that you wanted to ask me, I'll do 3 questions from someone. If you ask questions in the chat now.
Okay, I'll read them off to you.
Well, I don't know if that's I think I'd be best if I chose them.
Okay. I didn't know if you had to keep playing that.
Not that I don't trust you.
Keep it family friendly.
Of course, as always.
I guess I shouldn't have read them,
Yeah, okay, let's have a look here. Chat interaction. Just saying chat interaction. What does that mean?
Is that a question?
It's not a question. Panic.
Why did you hesitate?
Are you Harry Potter? Really?
That's what he was worried about.
I mean, Twitch chat is all about generalization, so yeah.
I get, to be fair, I'm English and wearing glasses, you know. That's how it is. What made you start speedrunning? I don't know. Just, you know, it's something to do, innit? And then once...
Little speedy spoo.
Favorite Prince of Persia game is this one. It's the only game I've actually played of Prince of Persia, believe it or not. A lot of people who do speedrun this game also speedrun the other games. I don't. I literally just do this one. Warrior Within looks sort of like, I don't know. I can't think of a good word for it. I guess edgy is like the best descriptor.
Or edgelord, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's sort of like edgy.
The best category in that game is to do the zip, so you skip the entire game.
Yeah, it's something crazy, like 18 minutes or 16 minutes or... Yeah, that game is super short because I think that game, the way that game's like set out, Warrior Within, is like it's sort of open world, or like you can go to lots of different places. Yeah. So the end of the game's like 10 minutes in, you can just like zip to it, which is quite nice.
We have a nice big donation of $250 from Chrono.
Hello.
I watched the last Sands of Time run with all its problems. Good to see Hennejoe back for another run. I'm too late to wish you a run without unintentional crashes. So here's to a run that doesn't run far over estimate.
I am also in agreement. I would really like that not to happen. But yeah, I mean, literally, just Keep the donations coming. This is the point. I think I was talking with Uyama about it, like when people say about this is a great time to read donations.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a whole bunch of them. A Ronin with $100 says, "For the great cause," and Hennejoe's stellar voice.
Thank you.
Jeremy says, $50. Shout out to Hennejoe's mum. It's always great to see parents who support their children following their dreams. Donation to Runner's Choice.
Awesome. Again, just keep them coming. I'm going to be... Oh, actually, what I usually do, does someone want to do this section? Just in case this is like the co-op world record.
You just great comeback.
Yeah, no, come on. Quickly.
The creator of speed.
Go.
Oh, wait.
You got it.
All right.
You got it.
He's choking.
Oh wow, you
Perfect.
use a different camera than I do.
Oh, yeah, no, I do it in bed. I can just take, Actually, can I just, you can just do the rest, You
I kind of know it.
Yeah. There's
I actually don't remember the order of.
Oh, that's right. I'll do that bit. It's fine. I'll do that bit. It's fine.
Go up now.
Camera guys.
Oh man, this minute of stairs.
Yeah. Just fantastic game design. I don't know what happened. I think the game developers just got really like, oh god, our game isn't long enough. What what do we do?
And then
what do we do?
Roll here, I think.
Yeah. Awesome. Even remembered the roll.
I know.
Even remembered the roll.
Oh, special celebrity hug from Vegeta.
Mike's real nervous. His first
Awesome.
GDQ.
I know.
There it is. Okay, so yeah, this the order for this is across, to left, across. So across.
Yeah. The only special thing about this area is actually what you do at the very end, because you draw your sword to activate a glitch for the next area. And it's called the invisible sword glitch because it looks like you're holding your sword, but you don't actually have anything in your hands. But it's actually what you need to be able to get past the door and skip a puzzle, which saves about 45 seconds. So it's a pretty significant trick.
Yeah. And then the top layer is 4 to the right, 2 to the right, and then again a final 4 to the right. Now I think the last run that was on PB pace, I forgot to draw my sword before the.
Please draw your sword.
Yeah, so it's here.
There
Draw your
you
sword.
go.
In we go. Skip the cutscene. Interestingly enough, I mean, you might have seen, there's no loading screen there. So this section that you're actually in now is loaded in the previous section. And when you're doing any %, you can get to this section before you do the puzzle, which I always thought was quite cool. I guess I can't remember who found that. I think it was Toka who just sort of like thought about it like logically. There's no loading zone, and you don't really travel anywhere in that magical puzzle. So this section just must be loaded. So yeah, you can see that I'm kind of holding like nothing, and the prince does like quite a providing he lets me go.
He can also block with his nothing.
Yeah.
Are you stuck? Maybe you want to hit him.
There you go. Normally I was like, he hits me, but he does that like cool little shimmy backwards whenever he's.
And so you can't actually swing your sword,
Yeah.
which is the weird thing. But there is a way to get around that, which is by doing a wall jump off this gate and then just mashing attack, which will start a combo, and then you will destroy this wall with your sword.
Shazam! And that saves like I think the puzzle went
And now you have your sword.
optimally. Yeah. The game really likes to just give you weapons after cutscene. It does it again up the top of the Tower of Dawn.
Because that puzzle is actually supposed to give you the final sword, which is your most powerful sword.
But this is giving us the sword. Oh, that's a weird direction. That was the sword that we've got now is the sword that we did have before. That's a weird camera change. Okay, so this section you do entirely without rewinds, and I've not really during this run needed to use my rewinds. I've been okay for the most part. It was mostly to stop Farah from dying. Like I've not made too many platformer mistakes, but usually, I mean, when I'm streaming at home, this is the section. The name of my split is called "This Is Where I Choke," because quite frequently, this is where I choke.
Yeah, because there's no safety here, unlike a lot of the other sections. So
Yeah.
you can lose a lot of time here.
Yeah, the checkpoints are really far apart. They're it's a little bit, to be fair, it's a little bit nicer with the first-person glitch because it cuts out a large chunk of bit that would be normally boring platforming. So these enemies, okay, they didn't. Sometimes the enemies can spawn in that little corner, and we want to go in that little corner just so we can, like, you saw I platformed up there. Can you use platformed as a verb? Yeah, you probably can. I platformed up there, like, fairly fast. And you can only do that if the enemies, like, sort of let you go.
I think you're the first GDQ runner to actually care about proper grammar.
Maybe. Okay, that's sort of a weird angle. We're going to go for it anyway. Ooh,
Oh, nice.
Okay, that was it was a little bit sketchy. I don't know. I'm not very clever, am I? Because you all heard me say, I don't know if this is going to work. And then without adjusting it at all, I still went for it anyway. What's that about? You'd have thought maybe if I'd, cognitively thought this might not work, that I could adjust it. But YOLO, I guess. Okay. First person glitch, okay. Again, so that's sort of like, it's kind of hard to tell. Basically, whenever the camera zooms out and I haven't changed direction, it means that I've done the first person glitch incorrectly. It's kind of hard to tell, but I'm just going to wait for these bats.
Yeah, because if they hit you, you drop down and die.
And I will lose, well, probably over a minute, I'd imagine.
Yeah. So
that doesn't matter because it's like the height barrier. The reason why, I don't know why, but these bats just seem so hard to like time. They don't seem to be like actually any different to other bats. I think it's something to do like, I don't know, like the end of the game is here. Nerves are high. I don't know. But I always just mistime the attacks on these bats. If I'm going for a PB, obviously, I'd run up it anyway, but in a marathon, I'll just wait for the bats because it doesn't lose that much time. So we're going to do a nice little skip here. Skips, normally we'd have to do a lot of slow climbing along the edge there, but you can first person glitch. See, that's like an instance where I didn't do it correctly, and again, just try and do it a little bit like more gently. There we go. And then you just skip, like that is still faster, believe it or not. Normally you have to go like all the way around and you can only...
Moving on poles is quite slow in this game.
Yeah, like hanging from them is really slow. But that is, I believe, could be wrong, I don't know why I took the slow route there. That is the last glitch in the game. That is, it's all intended from here on out, believe it or not. It's actually quite a large section, really, when you think about it, that isn't, like, there's, the reason why I like this run specifically is because you're always practically, like, each section, you're doing, like, a rewind trick or a first-person glitch or, like, just like an actual skip or abusing the AI. That's interesting.
That looked far enough.
Yeah. That really did look far.
But I think the checkpoint is like right before.
It is, yeah.
Because I guess the developer's like, hey, a lot of people die here, and we're too lazy to make it aim properly. Let's just make the checkpoint here.
Because I usually play, when I'm playing this at home, I play it in 4:3. This is like stretched automatically to widescreen. I don't know if that has anything like with sort of like how I'm perceiving jumps and stuff. It looks a little bit different to when I run it at home. That's it. We've got another cutscene, and then the final fight with the enemies in the game. With the sand enemies, anyway.
Yeah. Got time for a couple of donations?
Awesome, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Right on. Okay, we got one from Bard Beard with $50. Sands of Time is one of my all-time favorite games. Shout out to Cody in Tuttle, Oklahoma. Yes, you. For getting me into GDQ. Good luck on the run, and save the sand. We had one from $15 from Nostalgia Runner. I spent most of yesterday with friends watching SGDQ until 5 a.m., and right now I'm running on 4 hours of sleep. I'm barely here, but I've been waiting all week for your run, Joe. Don't sweat the run. Good luck, and it's good to see you running again.
Thank you very much. Nostalgia Runner, he's a nice dude. He runs GeForce, the hamster game.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is a cool little run.
We got $50 from Rex Draconum. Gotta donate during one of my favorite games of the PS2 era. Wasn't here last time, but I may have to find that VOD now. Good luck to the runner, and the donation goes to his choice.
Awesome. To be fair, you can keep the donations coming throughout, because I'll just be trying to concentrate on this fight.
Okay, I can do that. We got Fidget with $15. First time seeing a Prince of Persia run. I love the game and was always impressed that it came out the same year as Beyond Good and Evil, by the same company and the same engine. These glitches are great. Good luck with the run. We've got a $20 donation from Tontu, I want to say. I figured my first GDQ donation should be during the run of my new favorite streamer. Do your thing.
Thank you, Tonti.
So he's trying to do torpedoes, but getting torpedoes, the camera doesn't always cooperate with you, and neither do the walls. So that's why he's sometimes doing like flips and jumps and stuff instead.
That's nice. So yes, sometimes you can go for like a cheeky one hit, and it might hit. Like it might kill them. Like they might not be blocking at that moment, which is why I always go for it. Like the likelihood. I mean, there it worked. Right when I was trying to explain why it doesn't work. Let's try it on this guy. Yes, he blocked there, and that should be a double kill. That's it. Oh no, it's not. Dang. Okay, last one. Nice. Awesome. So now we have the final boss, the most intimidating, the hardest final boss in the entire world. I promise. I'm not exaggerating.
Also, the second boss.
The second boss?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
There's your dad, and then this guy.
Oh, no, yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah. Yeah, there's like no one in between.
Exactly. It's so weird.
I suppose we should be thankful, really, because combat, combat's definitely not the game's strong suit.
Yeah, definitely.
Here we go.
I will handle this intruder.
Get ready for the moves. Oh, isn't this entertaining?
Yep. Deep combat.
Look at us go. What are we going to do next? Oh, I did actually.
Oh,
I messed it up.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Suspense.
I'm just trying to make it more exciting, I guess. Oh, he dodged that one. He's so good. There you go. That's the last hit. Boom. Well, not the last hit, but.
Your exertions are most amusing.
So yeah, I mean, sometimes he does hit you out of the air. It's quite annoying. You can't, as far as I'm aware, do anything about it. Sometimes he will just do it, as well as sometimes like he'll try and move out the way. It's very rare though. As you can see, he's not the most active of bosses. He just sort of stands there. Let's just wail on him a little bit. This is the last phase.
Did you really?
Of course, much different to all his other phases, where you do exactly the same thing again and again. But this one,
don't tire yourself.
because it's the last phase, you get to do this.
Challenge.
That's a good noise, actually. Cha-chow. And 3 more. Time is almost here. It's almost upon us. I will let you know.
On pace for a new marathon PB?
Probably.
Maybe.
I don't know. Well, no, actually, because I did any percent at ESA
category.
2 years ago, and it was 105. It was a fairly decent run at the time. Believe it or not, I am capable of a decent run. I know it seems like I'm not.
No,
I know it seems like I'm not, but I promise I am.
You're doing great.
Thanks, man.
You're doing good.
Okay.
Positive attitude.
So I might have told a lie. This is zipless, but I don't want to kill this boss. I'm a pacifist, so we're going to try something else. This is for all the people that missed it 2 years ago. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. That should be enough, I think. Let's see. Time. Woo! Oh man.
Hugs for Hennejoe.
125.
You'll have a hug for Hennejoe?
Oh, I wish you could see this. It's a big old hug. One more big hand for Hennejoe, everybody. Santa time.